Welcome to the Business Behind the Scene podcast with Francesca Moi, where we talk all about real business problems, real solutions, and getting actual results in your business. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our live where we get together with our clients, letting you know what's working, what's not working, and why it's super important for you all to delegate your life away. If you can delegate, you can do what I do, which is spending time buying houses and renovating, which I don't know if it's better than being in business, to be honest, because I'm exhausted, but that's okay. But it's so much fun because the business run on its own. The team's got the task. Everybody knows what to do. And I just show up for my few meetings and I'm out of here again. So I want this life for everybody because it gives you so much freedom, not just of money, finances, but also time. So you can spend time with your family, with your loved ones. And I love that. And I wish everyone to do this. And today we got a special guest. Chantal Gerardy is joining us today to share with you how it works and how she can delegate and travel around and go in her van and do her things so that life keeps going while the business rolls out by itself, which is so good. And today she's dressed a bit odd. I was like, what is happening? Hi, Chantal.
I'm dressed odd. Come on, it's origin.
That's my Italian version of like, what are you wearing? Hi, Chantal. Tell us everything. Tell us about your business first.
Yeah, look, I'm so super excited to be here today. For those of you who have been following me on social media for however many years now, you will know that I absolutely love to play. Playing is what I love. I'm very much purpose driven. I really don't like being online. I'm hyperactive. And I really just want to live each day as if it was my last. And of course, I'm very passionate about my business and what I do, but I certainly do not want to be stuck in the weeds and caught up in everything that I do. So over the last however many years, there have been stages in my business where every time I've got to a point where it's like the business cannot grow, it cannot scale unless something changes. I couldn't work anymore. It's like something needs to change. It's like you can either just stay there for the rest of your life, and you could be satisfied with that amount of money and just micromanaging yourself and everything, and just having it being so stressful, and not being able to take holidays and not being able to enjoy the children or have lots of dogs, all these things. Or alternatively, and this has happened multiple times in my business, where I've gone, something needs to change. Like I need to get more help because I cannot do it. And when that happens, as scary as F when it happens. However, over the years, I've done a lot of stuff that hasn't worked. I've done a lot of stuff that has worked, and EVS certainly has helped. I probably want to share with you firstly, like,
what is your business? Tell everybody.
I want to share with you my business. So I own a marketing agency. So it's called Online Business Marketing, and that is it is a marketing consultancy business that focuses on strategy and implementation. So helping you with your marketing strategy and your marketing implementation plan. And then helping you or your virtual assistants or whoever's been tasked with the marketing in order to actually be able to implement the marketing strategy. My second business is called OBM Hub, which is a high-level product, which is an all-in-one marketing platform. So I'll tell you back in the day when my first time I had to scale, I did what everybody did, and I just outsourced little tasks. So I'd go onto like Fiverr and I'd go get a little freelancer or go find put it in a Facebook group and go, who can help me with this project? Who can help me with this project? And I'll tell you what the problem with that is that you literally have to explain your entire business to them every time you do that. They charge a lot more money. They don't really know how you like things done because they're working with about 20,000 other businesses. And they don't really prioritize your task either. And that was the issue that I initially had when I first started, and I went and I did all these little things. So I kind of worked out that was the wrong way to do it. The second wrong way to do it was when I decided that I would go into virtual assistant Facebook groups, and it's like, oh, I'll go find myself like a virtual assistant in there and I'll let them know what it is that I want. Well, firstly, I wasn't quite sure what I actually wanted, like the actual job description or the skill set that they needed to have. And it's almost like you're so desperate, you just take anybody. And then you realize what a freaking nightmare it is to manage somebody that's not through an agency, because unreliable Wi-Fi, they've got screaming children in the background, they're doing 50,000 other projects, so they don't prioritize yours. And the next minute you start noticing that they're talking in your business like an accountant when they should be talking like a marketing agency. And you just go,
Honestly.
like, this is like a nightmare, right?
Chantal, I was chatting with someone yesterday and I said, do you have a VA? And they said, yes. And I'm like, oh, fabulous. How many hours did it do? Oh, 5 to 10 a week. I'm like, okay, so you don't have a VA. Like you cannot say I have a staff member if they're only doing 5 to 10 hours, because they're not reliable. Like I was like, how's it going? Well, it's so I don't have time. Sometimes I feel bad. She's not working as much as she could because I don't have time. It's like, okay, so this is the thing. Like you're adding more work to yourself, but I'm making someone 5 to 10 hours because there's not enough for them to understand what actually needs to be done for them to be an autopilot, right?
Yeah, and the business owner doesn't know. I mean, this is why like I train virtual assistants and I onboard them, because I can help with the job description. I know how long activities take. Like I know how long it takes to do stuff. So I can go, well, this is the daily task. This is how we onboard them. This is the training that they're going to need, because VAs are especially Filipino VAs that you've got, fantastic implementers. But the reality is that they do need the strategy when it comes to the marketing. So if the business owner, doesn't know how to generate leads, you can't expect the virtual assistant to do it, because that's a strategy and they don't have that, right? So anyway, yeah, so with virtual assistants, absolutely love them. I mean, I'm working with a lady at the moment. She's got 2 virtual assistants. So she's paying for 2, right? And paying for 2, each of them are doing 10 hours a week. And when I looked at what they were doing, I was going, oh, that is like, each of them are probably only working 2 hours a week. You're paying them for 10 and they're actually only working about 2 hours a week, and they're doing everyone else's work at the same time. This is like ridiculous. And the one person was doing lead generation. And she's like, oh, I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing lead generation and I'm not sure if it's working or it's not working. I went and had a look, and this woman was literally going, and the VA was going in and spamming everyone. And I was like, do you know what she's doing to your business reputation? Like by going and spamming everyone? So the business owner has no idea. She just goes, I'll get these 2 VAs. I'll trust that they know what they're doing. And they don't, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's like the hot potato, right? People was got this like task, they don't want to do it to anybody, so they're just like, let me give this hot potato to someone else, and then it's not my problem anymore. But it's your business, so it's always going to be your problem, right?
Yeah, look, there's definitely a framework. I mean, and there's a framework that I use and I teach, which makes it really easy, because I'm very busy. I need to be doing the stuff that I need to be doing, which is for me, it's the strategy and the running of the business, and lead generation and presenting my podcast, and that's all the stuff that I need to be doing, and going on holiday. But so that means I don't need to be micromanaging my virtual assistants, which means if I can set them up right in the beginning with the strategy, if they can have their daily like marketing implementation framework, if I can support them in the necessary training that they've got to have, which a lot of business owners are like, oh no, they don't need training. And I'm like, are you kidding me? My VA, like I think when I onboarded the one I got from EVS, they were doing about 5 to 6 hours a week of training in the first 8 weeks. And I'm like, yes, please. Because at the end of those 8 weeks, they're going to know like absolutely everything, and they're going to be so empowered, and he is. So for me, it's around, if you can get the framework right of when I'm going to meet with them, how am I actually going to delegate those tasks, what communication channel are we going to use, what project management system are we going to do, what boundaries are we going to have when we separate it, what is our overall strategy, what do we do every single day to implement it, how do we manage that, how do we report on that. Once we do that, like you said, you tap in, the business owner taps in and taps out, and everything else is getting run behind the scenes.
Yeah. Honestly, like I cringe every time I hear someone saying, oh, I have to do tasks to my VA, if not tomorrow, they've got nothing to do. I'm like, how do I even you give me anxiety? I'm like, how do you run a business like that? Like, how could not? I've got 14 people. If I have to give tasks to every single one every day, I would rather do everything by myself, right? Because it's like, it's faster if I just do it, definitely. But so tell me, in your business journey, how did you identify, okay, I need someone to join me now?
Oh, look, I'm going to tell you now, and I know other business owners will be feeling the same way. It's a really scary moment, because it's like, do I stay where I am, but something needs to change? and you know you've got to hire someone else, but then you're scared because you actually don't know what to give them. And then you're scared of being taken advantage of, or them being underutilized, or you not actually knowing what to give them. So they are underutilized. Or what I hear all the time is, I'll just do it because it's quicker. I'm like, if you keep doing that, what's the point, right? So there
Yeah.
were definitely all those scary things that went on. But for me, I think I made the decision that, you know what it is? I watched other people. You watch people that you want to aspire to be like, right? And you look at their lifestyle and you go, oh my gosh, they're going on holidays, international travel, local travel, they're going on retreats and, they're doing all these amazing things. And you're going, how the hell do they have time to do that? They go to all these conferences and I went, okay, well, if I stay how I am, I'm not going to be able to do that, right? So I had to make a decision, and I made a decision that I wanted to create a different business. And one of the things that I had to also make a decision on is that I had to learn to be a leader. And that was something I had to learn. I had to learn how to delegate, learn how to lead, learn how to manage. I had to, and I didn't get it right from the beginning. I mean, now I teach it, so I've got a framework. But the reality is that in the beginning, like literally I was banging my head against the wall going, there has to be an easier way. And this is why you hear about all these people who are hiring and firing and rehiring, or those that have VAs and get another VA and get another VA and get another VA, because they think that that's the problem when really they the problem. So I think I really had to own the fact that if I was going to scale and grow a business and I wanted to be like the big girls and, out there playing and having a fabulous life, then something needed to change. This was it. This is what other people have and what they're doing. They getting it right, which means I need to get it right. I need to invest in myself and my ability to be able to do this better. So I think it started with awareness and then a decision.
Oh, I like that. And it's literally what I was talking to someone yesterday about it, exactly the same. They were saying to me, I do everything right now, work 7 days a week, and it's working. And the business now is growing, and a bank account starts to grow. It feels so good. I don't want to go back to have an expense and then having that problem, which I totally get because, it sounds like an expense. But what we don't understand is like all the things that we are not giving out is burning the business anyway, like cash, because your time will be better spent somewhere else. So like it's like the egg or the chicken. Which one do you get first, right?
It happens. And a lot of people don't want to part with the new income that they've got. And it's the same as me. I felt exactly the same way. I looked at this new income and I went, oh, this is great. But I look at this and go, well, I can't keep doing this because now we're actually starting to lose clients because our processes are bad, our onboarding's bad. I'm getting stressed. I'm getting tired. I'm getting sick. This is now stealing away time from me. And I've just gone through it now. I was sharing it with you recently and I've just shared it with my team. We've got a massive 3-month plan at the moment. We're investing heaps of money back into the business because we made the decision. My one social media management VA is going to get her own VA. So this is my Australian my Australian social media manager is going to get her own Filipino virtual assistant in 3 months' time. I'm going to get another virtual assistant who's going to now do sales as well. So it's like, I'm looking at this and going, these are the next step. I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that, then I'm going to do this. And guess what? When I bring on a new virtual assistant, I always make sure that I have time. I look at my diary and I look at the next 8 weeks and I go, right, for the next 8 weeks, I'm going to dedicate at least an hour of my time a week to that virtual assistant one-on-one. Plus, they need to do my team meetings, which are twice a week. For my company, it's twice a week. Plus that, and then on top of it, I give them working bees with every other virtual assistant in my company. So it's like, right, this week you're going to do a working bee with them. You're going to shadow them. You're going to learn about the business.
You call it a working bee.
I call it a working bee.
What is that?
A working bee.
Oh no, you're frozen in the most fun part. Wait, you're frozen. Start again. Working bee is what?
A working bee is when your virtual assistants get together and they work on a task. You guys from now on are doing working bees at least once a week. If you are doing something, so say for example, I don't know, you're working on your conference and you've got your conference coming up, the social media person's doing an amazing thing. the digital marketing ads person's doing amazing thing, but when do you ever sit down and go, let's see what you're doing, let's see what you're doing, let's see how we can pull that together, let's look at the reports, let's look at the metrics, and let's pull that together. And then they look at the SOPs and they see where one SOP comes into the next SOP. So the next, and you must have SOPs in your business, please. So working bees is something that I 100% encourage, is that your other team members are working with them. They can then facilitate the training as well, like the training that goes on. And they can learn from each other's roles and they get better.
I love it. Yeah. And this is like the other thing, right? So how did you know you needed a second VA?
Okay, so my VA started going like, we got a lot on here, and there was a lot, and I realized like I was throwing a lot. So all my VAs have got daily activities, and then all of them have got ad hoc folders. So ad hoc folders are when like the visionary or the business owner goes, oh, we can do this, oh, we can do that, oh, we can do this. And basically you throw all of that into the ad hoc folder, and then when their daily activities are free or they've got other stuff, they can then go into the ad hoc folder. When you suddenly look at the ad hoc folder and you go, whoa, there's so much there, you're going like, that is opportunity, that is potential, that is extra income generating stuff that is sitting there. But if your virtual assistant, I mean, if you're aware of like what they actually do and how long things take, like I know how long things take, then I know like they've got too much. And like you say, we don't want to break our VAs. So it's a case of, what do you want to do? Yeah, don't break the VA. So what I did then is I sit down with my virtual assistant and I ask them and I say, what are the tasks that you love to do and the tasks that you want to keep? And if we were to pass some of your repeatable tasks onto someone, what would they be? And then we start building a job description around that. And that's what we started. That's how I determined then what the next role is inside the business.
That is amazing. And that's exactly right? Because what people do is that they're burning out and they're breaking, and then they get a VA, and then they start to see the potential of this VA. So they're like, oh, you can also do this, and you can also do this, and you can also do this. And then the VA start to crumble and like, and then they break the VA, and then either they quit or they get burnt out and they start to make mistakes, they start to drop the balls, and then we blame the VA because it's only the VA fault. It's never our fault, right? And so like that's something that, to me, to be honest, is happening to my EA right now. She's incredible, and everybody is like, oh, so then you can take this as well, and you get it this way. Yeah. And now she's got 5 different departments putting stuff back on her, and then now she's like, so I'm sure that soon I will have to get a VA for my EA because because she's that amazing. And this is one of the things that I learned at one of my events that I go all the time, EO. They were saying, you know what is the thing that sucks the most is that when you have A players and you have in the same company some B players or C players, so it's like people that really overperform and do everything, and then you have people that sort of like they hit and miss. What happens is that the business owner, who's gonna give, if they got a new task, who's they gonna give it to the A players? So the A players keep like getting paid the same and keep drop more and more and more tasks. And then the people that are average, they're like, oh, it's not that good, so I'm not going to give a task to that person. That person is like going to the holidays, by the pool, sipping thing. So it's really important to have like A players in the business so that all share and work together as a team, rather than be like, there is a weak link and we don't give tasks to the weak link because they don't do it right, and I have to redo it anyway, right? So we literally like have to work out in the business as business owners, who is the weak link, and is it because they have too much on, or is it because they just don't have the skills and the task and the mindset to do it? So we had to let go one of the team members because it was just draining everybody else by not doing the task properly. So that is really, really, really important to do as well. So
100%. So I mean, we just have we communicate about that. So in our planning session, it's like, if we're going, okay, we've got a whole bunch of tasks, and I've seen you do it with your team as well. It's who's going to do that task, who's going to do that task, who's going to do that task. But it's about having that conversation with the VA and going, how is your week looking? Do you have capacity for that task? If that's a high priority task, that virtual assistant can take over that task. But what I say then is, okay, what can you give to the other virtual assistant that they're capable of doing? So it's not like they're taking on, it's about task swapping. So we get them working together and going, you know what, this week, priority. We've got to get some sales pages up and landing pages up, and we've got to do all of that. So like, there's 3 of them this week and I'm used to only doing 1 to 2. Okay, cool. What tasks can you give to this one? This virtual assistant will go, you know what? I'll take over the blog repurposing. I'll take over the email. I'll take over the low priority sort of items, and they'll do it. And guess what? They can. And you know why? Because they have an SOP in place, so they can hand over the SOP to that virtual assistant, and because they've done working bees. So probably at some point they have overlapped and they've actually seen what that other person is doing, which makes it incredible for if somebody's sick, because if somebody is sick, the other virtual assistant can pick it up as well.
I love it. That is fantastic. So Chantal, if someone is telling you, look, I need a VA, but right now I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I got the capacity. All my team is very busy. Nobody's going to be able to have time to onboard this person. What would you say to them?
I always say to people that if you're too busy for new clients, then you're too busy for new clients.
Oh, wait, you're too busy for a VA?
No. So if you're too busy, so if you say I need more sales and I want to grow my business and I want more income, but if you're too busy, how can you do that? So if you can't take on, you want new clients and you want more sales, but if you're too busy, you can't actually accommodate them. So the reality is that you can't ever get them. So you have to do something differently. So you do have to take a little step back. And for me, it's only 8 weeks. It's an 8-week commitment. And I love that 8-week commitment. I get excited by it now because I go, right, this is 8 weeks for me to step back, empower this person, and then they're just going to fly. The second thing is that if you are a 5-figure business, so you've just hitting on 6 figures, the reality is I believe that you should invest in yourself. You should invest in yourself, rather, in your strategy, in understanding your business, in how it works, how every department and every aspect of your business works, so that when you do start hiring, you don't get fooled. You don't get fooled, you don't get taken advantage of. And I say this for everything. I say this for if you doing ads, you shouldn't be doing ads unless you've got email marketing, unless you're a 6-figure business. You have to understand what you're doing. So if you are just on that 6-figure business, probably too soon. I never had a VA. I did everything. I wore every hat. And I'm so grateful for that, because what happened was when I got my virtual assistants, I understood what they did. I know not to break them. I know what they need to do. I can support them and I can oversee it, and I'm not going to get taken advantage of. But if you are a scaling 6-figure business, what is your next move? Like, seriously. And it's okay. If you want to stay where you are, stay where you are. But if you want to have the freedom lifestyle and you want to do stuff, something has to change. And if that means you taking a little bit of money and putting it aside for a virtual assistant and a little bit of time to invest in that virtual assistant, think about after that. Think about after that. I travel for a third of the year. For a third of the year, I'm doing international travel. I'm presenting internationally. I'm doing local travel. I hang out in my camper van. The only way that I can do that and have 2 marketing agencies plus a podcast, the only way that I can do that, think about it, is having team. There is no other way. And they've got to be a good team, because I'm not going to financially be able to support myself and everything I want to do. So I think it's really important. You just got to think about what you want. What do you absolutely want and what's going to change?
I love it. And Chantal, someone is watching this and is like, oh, I love this girl. Tell me more. How can I work with you? Tell them. How can they find you, work with you? Tell me all about it. By the way, we have Chantal on board, and thank goodness that I've got all my staff members to help us implement all her ideas, because one of my team was saying to me, oh my gosh, the poor marketing team, they've got 2 FMs. one is me with all the ideas. Now they've got Chantal with all the ideas. They're like, oh my gosh. So tell them, how can they find you?
Yeah, awesome. So onlinebusinessmarketing.com.au. We are very much focused on marketing strategies and implementation frameworks. We are all about how to make your marketing meaningful, profitable, and easy to manage. So you can find that at onlinebusinessmarketing.com.au. We've got heaps of free resources on the website. You'll also find our podcast there called the Meaningful Marketing Podcast. So if you are lacking in a strategy, if you feel like your virtual assistant is underutilized, or if you're scared of bringing on a virtual assistant, or you want to empower the one that you've got, like this is something I've specialized in now for many years. I've presented in the Philippines twice now at international conferences, supporting Filipino VAs. So I can certainly help you if you know that this is the next thing you need to do and you are shit scared about how you're going to do it and you need accountability, you need support, you need the strategy, you need the frameworks. That's my jam. That's what I can help you with.
I love it. And absolutely, it's worth it. I said that to someone the other day. I said, look, I've been doing marketing for 11 years, right? I know exactly what to suggest to other people, what's working, what's not working in the business. But when it's ours, to me, it's so obvious. Like, it's like, of course, we're talking about VAs. Of course, we are talking to 7-figure business owners. Of course, like, it's just so much more difficult for me to evaluate what we do on social media, what's working, not working. I need someone from the outside to be like, you guys, what are you doing here? Like, this needs to be changed and that and this. So I have invested in that because I need someone from the outside to look in, and also because my team love working with me, but I am time poor, and not time poor. I don't want to work more than 20 hours a week. So I don't want to spend hours with my marketing team because I've done it for 11 years. So I just wanted someone else to give a fresh look and a fresh start. So think about this, right? As a business owner, you need to think about, are you good at marketing? And if you are good at marketing, are you good at your own marketing? Because it's a different story. And if you're not good at marketing, then why would you just expect your VA to run it all by themselves? So get someone to support them and work together as a team and create a strategy that works so that you don't have to be in it all the time. Thank you so much, Chantal, for your time. And everybody go and reach out to her if you need any marketing support. Thank you so much. I'll see you around. Thank you so much for listening to this amazing podcast. Now, if you enjoyed this, you're definitely going to love my Facebook group where I've got over 11,000 people in it, and they're all business owners successful like you. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge, and in there I do classes every week, and I get to interview my clients and I get to teach you all the things that I've done to get my business to 100K plus a month. So I look forward to have you in there. It's called the Successful Entrepreneur Lounge Facebook group in Facebook. I look forward to see you there. Ciao.